There you go.
Evening.
Recording in progress. Take that off. That's better. I don't like the sound of my voice on it anymore either. I think it's like you said, I need a microphone.
Okay, far away.
Oh, you ready to start, are you? Okay. Okay, I've got a little story to tell you, Henry. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and you probably remember it because you were there. We went to a conference. Well, it wasn't really a conference. It was a big meeting about taxation in the TUC building just near the British Library. I can't remember which street it was on. Anyway, we all went there. It was a packed audience, and there was loads of people up there. MPs were there, and there were people from the Inland Revenue. But it was basically a sort of left-wing meeting, wasn't it, in the TUC centre, which is pretty obvious. Anyway, we listened to it all, and in the end, there was a director of the HMRC, I think. He suddenly piped up and said, "We need 100,000 new tax collectors to run this country properly." And everybody in the audience cheered and laughed. Yeah, they cheered, and me and Henry, me and you, we looked at each other and we laughed about something different, didn't we? Do you remember that?
Yeah, very well. Yeah.
It was like, what? Yeah. And there was Angela Rayner sitting at the front. Sorry, no, not Angela Rayner. What's the other woman? Anyway, one of the MPs was at the front, and she was clapping and cheering one of the Labour MPs. And I'm thinking, oh my God, no. Anyway, what a fascinating thing.
Yeah. Well, I thought this has cropped up again. I thought we might have been to the tax fest this evening.
Oh
So
yeah,
let's have our tax fest. I don't think 100,000 is anywhere near the number that would be needed really
oh
to run the thing properly. Let's start off.
yeah.
Got a little collection here.
Are you saying that they were aiming too low? Are you saying they were aiming too low at that
Oh
meeting?
yeah, I think it's
Okay,
you need far more. That's for a start. You need that one. Got to
okay.
have
Big jobs
that.
tax. Yeah, big jobs tax.
Uh,
Tax.
Nobody seems to ask whether it matters that how the income has come in, but any old income will do. Uh, I wonder whether they should tax birthday presents. Does that count as income?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, why
Good.
not?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or gifts, maybe gifts.
Gifts, anything, yeah, tax it all. Anyway, how about this one?
There is a
National
gift tax,
insurance.
isn't there? National
National
insurance.
insurance. That's
Yeah, God, we
suppose
really.
that's
So
just
that's
another
another
tax, really.
that's another 20,000 we need, isn't it, for the national insurance? We've had 20,000 now for the income tax,
Oh,
20,000 for the national insurance,
there's a
20,000
great big
for
office.
tax collectors. Yeah.
There's a
Hmm.
great big office at Long Benton outside Newcastle deals with that.
Oh, okay.
National insurance.
Perhaps we should farm it out to a franchise system where we get the private sector to do the collecting. That'd be
Oh
a very
yeah,
lucrative business, wouldn't it?
I think they tried that in the Roman Empire.
Yeah,
Here's
but
another one.
well, they were quite good in Rome, weren't they? They were successful.
Yeah,
They got
yeah, yeah.
results, didn't they? They got results.
So Matthew was a tax collector.
Yeah. So he was. Wasn't
Yeah,
Paul as well? No, it was Matthew, wasn't it? Okay. Anyway,
I
go
think
on.
Matthew was a.
Yeah.
Here, I wonder how about this one? Corporation tax. That's a goodie.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say
Not
another
quite sure how that.
10,000. 10,000 for that. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite sure how that one's even supposed to work because corporations can be in a lot of different countries, and
Oh,
they can make the
yeah.
profits. They can make the profits pop up where they will.
Well, maybe they just do a deal. The government does a deal with another government because they're all
Well,
doing it,
that's
aren't
a good way
they?
of
Yeah.
doing it. Why not?
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
this one?
They could do a foreign exchange where lots of tax collectors went to the foreign country and worked in their country for a while. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
Capital gains tax.
why
Yes.
not? I
Yeah.
mean, capital gains, and they're really wicked because it's an unearned windfall.
Oh, what capital gains is an unearned windfall. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, it's better for people to hold on to a dud investment than shift it into something else. But never mind.
Good point. Good point. Yeah. So another 10,000 for that, I think. So we're approaching the 100,000 mark now. They're
Mhm.
aiming way too low at that conference.
How about that one? That's their old favourite.
Oh, yeah. VAT, like the tariff. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't quite understand that one because I thought, I mean, maybe I'm being naive, but the whole idea of an economy is to add value. That's how wealth is created, by adding value. So can't
Yeah.
quite see how that was what the idea was behind that. Anyway, we've
Yeah.
got it.
But I mean, is that one that would need a lot more tax collectors, do you think?
Well, according to the European Union, of course, we're not in it anymore, but there's a thing called the tax gap, which
Well,
is
I don't know
five
about that.
percent.
I think I'm still in the UU, but anyway, sorry, go on.
They lose 5%, but in Romania and Italy, it's something like 35% of VAT is not collected. I'm not quite sure how they work out how much should be collected,
Yeah,
but they
but
lose
sure.
35%
But
apparently in Romania.
Don't Italy and Romania need more tax collectors then if they're not
Oh,
collecting?
absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing about VAT is that they get the business to do the job. The administrative
Hmm.
costs are shuffled onto
Yeah.
businesses.
So it's like a franchise. They don't even pay anything back, sort of thing. Okay. Yeah.
But that one.
Vehicle fuel duty. Yeah. Yeah. So do you know how much that is?
No, but the nice thing about it is it makes transport more expensive. So if you're out in the sticks, you're
Hmm.
really going to be struggling, aren't you? So that's a
Yeah.
brilliant idea. We really want everybody to
That doesn't
crowd
need
in
many.
London and the South East.
That doesn't really need many people to collect it, does it? Because it's sort of built into the price when you go and buy it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, somebody's got to
So
check that there's no fiddles going on.
yeah. So we probably
How
lost a
about this?
few employees there.
Here's an interesting one. Now, the idea of alcohol tax
Hmm.
is to discourage people from drinking themselves silly, which tells us that taxes actually do result in less of whatever it is taxed. So,
Well,
but
if it works,
well, possibly does a bit. I don't know, maybe a bit.
we won't
But
be able to tell, will we? But yeah, yeah,
but the point is, if it really worked, nobody would drink alcohol at all, and they wouldn't get anything.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Let's keep on. We've got only halfway through the bundle. Look, there's plenty more to come.
What about the border tax? What about a
Betting
tariff?
tax.
Oh, a betting tax. Yeah, stop people betting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that to raise revenue or to stop beating? Is it a sin tax
Well,
or
that
to
was to
raise revenue?
discourage it, but it does
Pardon?
raise some revenue. But of course, if it succeeded, it wouldn't raise any revenue again. So uh,
Yeah, that's
I'm not,
true.
not quite sure what the idea behind it is. Probably to stop people betting.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. But then again,
Then we do have a
I think
lottery that was started up by Tony Blair's government, wasn't it? Which is a lot of
well,
gambling, isn't it?
was the
Probably the
national
worst
lottery.
form of
That's right.
gambling you
But
can think of.
of course, before that, there was the what do you call it? Premium bonds. They're a lottery, really. The money's lottery.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a nice one: the inheritance tax. No, we really don't want people inheriting
Insurance
stuff.
tax. Insurance tax, you mean?
Oh, that's insurance. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you put it in a
insurance tax.
font, you
Yeah,
can't read it easily.
yeah, that's all right. Insurance tax. I don't know
Yeah.
what that was about. That was something somebody thought that one up off the top of their head a few years back, but it never got removed.
Yeah, because it's not that old, that one, is it? Because I remember it suddenly appearing one day
No,
and thinking, why am I paying tax on insurance? I don't want to pay insurance either.
no. Well, what's that about? Oh, here we are. It's back to
They must
inheritance
think you're
tax.
getting some sort of unearned benefit from it. Yeah, anyway, inheritance tax, yeah. Okay, that's a big one. That's very
Well,
topical in the UK, isn't it?
yeah. So yeah, well, we did the video on that. You've got to soak the rich. We want to break up those rich estates and things. Now, the funny thing is that despite it, it's been around 100 years or more. Uh, most of central London is still owned by the same six aristocratic families in
Mm.
1700. So I don't know how that one worked that well. Same six aristocratic families
Yeah,
owned most of central London in 1700.
they must have put it
Uh,
all in trusts. They've got so much money they can
well,
pay for
yeah,
proper lawyers and everything. Yeah,
yeah. Probably designed to fail, that one, I expect.
yeah.
Coun- Council tax. Now, that one is,
Mm.
that's the property tax. Now, that 1991 values, because they haven't got enough tax collectors, how they work out the value of new buildings
Yeah.
at their 1991 value, I'm not quite sure. I suppose they've
Is
got a
this because they
formula.
haven't got enough? Is this because they haven't got enough tax collectors? They haven't worked it out
No,
again.
need some more for
So
that.
they need more, don't they? They need a lot more people to do the council tax, yeah.
But
Another
of course,
25,000, I would say, to do that.
It's based on selling price. Now, if a place like Westminster's got the selling prices are very high, so they don't need to levy it at much of a rate to get plenty of cash in. But
Hmm.
somewhere like Sunderland, they've got to levy it at a very high rate because the property's worth so little. So the thing is, that's another tax that's completely screwed up.
The poor. It's completely screwed up the poor and made them more unemployed. Yes. Yeah.
Business rate. No, that's not
Yes. Mhm.
that. That's they've made that as bad as possible. In principle, it's not such a bad idea, but they managed to mess that one up too. Because if you put up a nice building and equip it well, you'll pay more tax. I understand that the railways,
Don't
the
build good
railways
buildings
have
then.
Network Rail has to pay more business rate if they electrify the railway.
Hmm. Okay.
Not
So
much
it's
of an incentive. They
yeah.
say, oh, well, Britain's got low productivity, we don't modernise, blah, blah. But if they do, they get hit with more business rate.
Okay. So real estate tax then, not a land value tax. Yeah.
Real, just a real thing.
Okay.
This one I think is more or less died out. Not sure what was because people have got meters now, but it's
Yeah.
still around a bit.
I remember that word, but I haven't seen it for decades.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's dying out now.
Okay. Probably going to come
This
back
one,
again. Probably going to come back again soon. Water rates, where things are going. Stamp duty land
isn't it
tax,
funny?
that's for when you buy a house, isn't it? You get a
Yeah,
transaction tax on the
yeah, you pay
purchase.
when you buy a house, except really the incidence falls on the seller, so that's not quite what it seems either.
Okay.
Discourages moving, of course. And there's a threshold. You couldn't think of a worse property tax. Well, you probably could, but it's getting down there,
Well,
scraping the barrel.
the inheritance tax on farmers is a bad one, isn't it? In that
Yeah.
context. Not that I'm a big
But this,
fan of the farmers at the moment, but yeah.
but this one's a bad one because it discourages people from moving.
Yeah, discouraging them from
Also,
moving, yeah. When you want
also,
a fluid liquid market and they're going to make be building a million new homes in this country and they tax
opposite
them so people do less moving. Great.
opposite effect of what's intended.
Yeah.
Um, the nice thing about this
That's
one,
normal though, isn't it? Yeah, that's normal. Yeah.
actually, the incidence falls on the seller. Nobody ever sees it. They think, oh, we get. Sometimes they reduce it or have a little holiday, and they say it's helping first-time buyers, but of course it's not. It's helping sellers to the first-time buyers. It's not what it seems either.
Yeah.
And if they have a threshold, I think a bit of money probably changes hands in brown envelopes under pub tables.
Yeah.
Stamp duty, that's on shares and things. That one, that's
Hmm.
what that's on capital gains. It's also on capital losses.
Yeah.
So that again discourages liquidity in the
Really on capital
securities
losses
market.
too. Wow. Okay.
Tax the capital loss, great. Road tax, that's the one you pay for licensing the vehicle. I suppose people who use the road should pay some form of tax, but mm, that one's not too bad as they go.
I don't
It
understand.
has
How much does it cost to collect? Do we need more people to collect it? I mean,
probably. It
yeah.
had a very odd it had a very odd effect on car design at one time because there was a threshold for engines below a certain size, and so there were. You'll find lots of cars in the 50s had 1,999 cc engines.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So clever.
Yeah. They really thought it through.
They
You
really
know, you
thought
know what
it.
it is though? They just don't have enough staff. It's because they're short of staff, isn't it?
But
They keep
no,
making these mistakes, so they need more staff. Yeah. Yeah.
that one I suppose is reasonable. But I made a planning application and it was rejected. And the person who was dealing with the case hadn't a clue about planning
Yeah.
and design, and he completely misinterpreted the guidelines.
But you still
So
paid.
the thing had to go to appeal, and
Hmm.
then the inspector said that the planning officer had made a mistake.
Hmm.
So you're not
Again,
actually you're getting
again,
pretty rubbish.
it's
And
because
also
they're short of staff. Their staff, it's not enough staff. They need
not
more
enough
staff to do this.
long delays too.
Yeah.
Here's a new one. I hadn't come across this one. It used to be
I
planning
have.
game.
Yeah. Planning game. Yeah. So the roof tax, it's what they colloquially called the roof tax in the
Yeah.
council when I was on the planning committee. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So basically, when a developer has to pay a little bit extra, well, it was about 25,000 per house when houses were selling for about 10 times that much.
yeah.
They used it for highways usually or affordable homes, that sort of things. Yeah, yeah. Mm.
There's some justification for that, but when something's called community, I think
Mm.
it's a red flag.
It's a bit like when they put the word social in front of anything, isn't it? You think something's wrong with this. Yeah. Or green. Oh gosh. Yeah, the tariff. Tariff.
They, they could have got rid of those when the country left the EU, but they decided to keep them. Quite like the
Yeah.
typeface on this one. It's a bit like stacks
Yeah.
of containers.
It's Space 1999. It looks like Space
Yeah.
1999 font. Yeah. Yeah, so import tariff, that's a bit like a VAT, isn't it? Yeah.
Hmm.
Whereas it's taxing things as they come into the port that you want. Yeah,
Yeah.
that everybody wants. Whereas the VAT is protecting the home industry from other people in the home industries, isn't it? That's what the VAT does,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really sensible too. TV license, yeah, well, very topical in the UK right now, given all the paedophiles in the BBC, you know. So we're told. Might not be true, might not be true, but there's been three or four of them outed recently. So, yeah.
It, it doesn't seem to give a very balanced account of anything. Anything I ever listened to is the music program, and even that's a bit kind of, shall we say, angled.
Yeah, they've got an angle, haven't they? The DEI angle.
But but really, we could have some more taxes. This one was popular for
Yeah.
a while.
No, we can't have any more taxes because there's not enough
Oh,
people yet. We'll have to get more people, even more people if we have more taxes, won't we?
well, this is a good
Okay,
one. You
let's
just jack
catch
up.
up. We need 100,000. Yeah. Okay. I've not heard of
Do
the
you know
clock.
about,
I've never heard of that.
do you know about that one?
No, that's an old one. It's not, it doesn't exist anymore, does it?
1797. It was meant to pay for the war with the French.
Okay. Yeah, was it?
It was quite a,
It's
and
not
of course,
reason.
it's only rich. It soaked the rich because only rich people had clocks, didn't they, in those days, and watches.
Yeah.
And the effect of it was it wiped out the clock and watch industry in Clerkenwell, which was doing quite well. And it never really recovered after that. That was partly why it went to the Swiss in
Mm,
Geneva.
well, I
That
see.
was that was really a clever move.
Sort of jobs tax then, really. A sort of jobs tax. It destroyed jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, destroyed,
Mm,
but it destroyed an entire industry within
yeah.
the space of
Yeah.
a year. It was abolished in 1798, but by that time it was too late anyway.
And the people that benefited were the rich people because they were quite happy to be seen wearing a highly taxed item on themselves, weren't they? Because they loved people thinking they were wealthy. Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
remember? You're probably young to remember nylons and wristwatches.
Hmm.
Favourite smuggling things in the 40s. The
Well,
the customs and excise used to go around checking for smuggled nylons and wristwatches.
anyway, this is going on. This is going on. We've got to speed up. Window tax. Oh, yeah. Tax the windows. Okay, that's an
Which,
old one we don't have anymore, isn't it?
well, that was
We can
also
bring it
really
back.
only rich people have got lots of windows, so it's a
Yeah.
tax on the wealthy,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
I'm not bothered about rich people, but they're the only ones that can afford that, aren't they? So,
Yeah, but it was rich people lived in mansions, and so it was a sort of mansion tax, and that was bricked up windows. Now, if anybody's got any more ideas for taxes, please leave them in the comments below, because
yeah.
I'm sure we can do more. I don't think we're anywhere near exhausting
Yeah, and
possibility.
those people in the TEC conference, they were aiming way too low, weren't they? Way
Yeah,
too low.
yeah,
We need at least
really,
200,000 more tax collectors. Yeah,
really need to
maybe
be
we'll
more ambitious.
franchise it. Hmm? We'll turn it into a
Need
thing
to
like
be,
Costa. It'll be like Costa Coffee, yeah, or Starbucks, you know, you can go and pay it. taxes in the costas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they
Mm.
need to be more ambitious.
Yeah. Yeah, there's certainly. I don't think you've got all of them there either, because I know a few off the top of my head. I can't think of them now. There's more than
Oh,
you've
well,
got there.
I
Yeah.
will have another go
There's lots of hidden
sometime.
taxes as well, especially in the renewables energy industry. There's loads of stuff going
Oh,
on
yeah, yeah,
which could
yeah,
be classified as a
yeah.
tax theoretically. Yeah.
You could you could probably employ about 1 million people in the tax collection industry, but don't forget that all
Hmm.
the accountants and lawyers and things who spend their time dealing with tax affairs for companies and individuals and challenging them and taking the authorities to court
So
and
we
things.
need more lawyers and accountants then as well. We're going to need
Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
lawyers
No,
too, aren't we?
absolutely.
More lawyers and accountants. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, let's
Do you
do
remember
that. Yeah.
do you remember the Jaffa Cake case?
No.
Oh, confectionery doesn't have to pay VAT on it. Sorry, food doesn't have to pay VAT in it. Confectionery does.
Oh yeah.
So, so they had a tax on Jaffa Cake because the custom VAT authorities said it was confectionery, and the
Okay.
people who made it said it wasn't. The case went on for years.
We had a tax like that 10 years ago. It was called what was it called? The pasty tax or something like that, pie
Yeah,
tax. Hot
yeah, the
food was
Jaffa Cake
hot food
tax.
was tax. Hot food was tax, wasn't it, as well? 10 years ago. Something happened. I don't know if it's still there. But there's loads more. Anyway, thank you very much, Henry. That's very good. We'll have to get moving and get these people hired.
Yeah, but lovely work for lawyers. That
Lawyers and accountants. Yeah,
went up
we
to the highest
definitely need
courts.
more. Yeah, we definitely need more of those.
Yeah,
Bye. Bye.
bye, bye.